Hey, it is 8 o'clock p.m. exactly on the dot. It is July 8th, Saturday evening, and I wanted to come on here and make a quick video because I was sitting in my little room here thinking about the topic of asexuality. And I wanted to revisit this topic because I think, obviously, I have this need to resolve this issue in my brain because I feel as though it was too much of a psychological form of trauma that occurred. And I know that when things started getting very strange online back in, I would say 2008. Yeah, 2008 is when I started thinking that, I almost started getting the feeling that, I don't know, maybe something was going on because obviously weird things were happening online, like Facebook. Some of my social media accounts seemed a little weird. First I had a lot of friends, and then all of a sudden people stopped talking to me, right? And this is when the bullying started happening, slowly but surely, and then escalated, I would say, sometime in 2010. Yeah, like right after I brought my ex-husband to the Christmas party. Now I'm starting to understand that Terry Collins was involved in this, and Bruce's family was involved with this, and whatever. Okay, so yes, I would identify myself as asexual. And first I want to talk about, how I feel about this. I don't know. To me, I see people talking about their sexual identity a lot. They want to be identified with their sexual movement, these sexual type movements where they want to identify as gay, whatever. And it's even more than that now. There's all these like different kinds of categories and stuff like that, and I have never been one of those people. I seriously just wanted to get on with my life. But I did in 2008 started to read about asexuality because I started realizing that I did not like the idea of having sex. And so I started looking up information online. Like, and I didn't think I was the only one because I would talk to other women. They felt the same way, but they weren't really. They had just mixed feelings about why they felt this way. Okay, but still, I was just like, I honestly started getting grossed out by it. It just stopped. Maybe it was because, I had mentioned before just recently. I talked more about this issue of incest that went on in my life, and maybe it grossed me out, disgust me. It seems like everybody I ever knew who I was with, it seemed like basically all they really wanted was that. And so in my mind, there's something, I am very put off and disturbed by sex. I don't like it, okay? Now I didn't realize that my aversion to sex was more trauma-based until just recently. Okay, but even back in 2008, I started becoming more and more like not interested in having sex. So somehow or another, this must have got relayed to my perps, because when you have perps, they are in all of your business and they feel like it's their right to know, even though it was an intrusion and they shouldn't have done it, but this is what they do. So when they find out certain things, what they want to do is they want to test if that's true or not. And I think a lot of this was being enacted. Looking back, I think a lot of this was being enacted in like job interviews or just scenarios at work or whatever, things that people would say. Like I said, I'm not the kind of person that I'm not into like pride movements. I'm just not into it. To me, I'm comfortable with who I am, and I don't need to like constantly tell people about. I don't think it's necessary. For example, if I was to have a conversation with my next door neighbor or whoever, okay, and they're talking to me, we strike up a conversation, and we talk about, and we find out that we both like arts and crafts, okay. I would only be interested in their sexuality if, of course, I was pursuing them for sexual reasons. I don't care. If you want to do an arts and crafts thing with me, then we can do arts and crafts. When you come over, we can do arts and crafts together. I'm not interested in who they're sleeping with. I don't care who my bosses sleep with. I don't care that to me, I understand people have their business, and I respect that, but I don't, and people want to get involved in mine and not comfortable with it. So then you get these people with their bright ideas. Okay, let's try to fix this person who is an asexual person, let's try to fix them. So they try to force you into certain relationships. Do you understand how traumatizing that is to a person who knows, I know who I am. okay? And I know that I don't want that. And I don't want it from people that I feel who has abused me. And so when I get presented, even if it wasn't a person who abused me, it's the fact that this is who I am and you cannot change that. So let's talk about, obviously I felt attraction towards men before in my life. And yeah, of course I did, okay? But looking back, most of my attractions toward men was not necessarily sexual. A lot of it was, I was intrigued by the fact that they were handsome, okay? Or I was intrigued by the fact that I thought they were mysterious, or something like that. We all have like these little crushes, like this. You put these people on like high regard because you might be mesmerized by them. Like I mentioned the guy in high school. I was mesmerized by this guy in high school. I didn't know anything about him. I found out many years later that he was kind of weird or whatever. But hey, at the time, I thought he was a nice looking boy, from a distance anyway. And so, I ended up liking this guy. And then I probably made up a personality, a character in this person, because I really never talked to him or anything like that. But still, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have this little admiration for a person. But as far as me, like, being, like, extremely sexual, overly sexualized or as a person, I've never really been, okay? I remember growing up, I wanted to be like, a virgin when I got married and that kind of stuff, because at first I started off with like these really traditional ideas that no one imposed on me, okay? It was just something that I thought, in order to live a life correctly, this is the way you had to be. So I started off that way, okay? I no longer necessarily am as rigid as that, because I think that's a little silly, especially in this day and age. But, yeah, I'm an asexual person, okay? And a lot of times, you get a lot of ignorant people. They say stupid things because they want to put you through the test. They want to test you. They don't believe it. They think that if you're asexual, then you're supposed to dress or like have absolutely no colorful personality, nothing. Like you're supposed to look like you don't care about yourself. So a lot of ignorant people will say, oh, well, if you don't care about yourself, why are you all dressed up then? Here's the thing. I get dressed up not for men. I get dressed up for me. For me. Because I like that pretty dress with the pastels. Or I like that dress with the paisley print. Or I like those pants because they have that right flare at the ankle. Or whatever it is. It has nothing to do with me. Why should a person have to change who they are or feel as though that they exist only to please the other sex? That is a sexist comment. And that's wrong. So it's like, it's very difficult so anyway. What I was thinking is that, when it comes to should people tell or talk more about their sexuality, I never thought it was that important. Okay, but I am saying this right now on my channel about this issue of asexuality. I kind of do think it is, only because we have to walk out in a world that is extremely sexually driven. Okay, I mean, people have a strong sexual vibes. They think and they're motivated by sex. Okay, for the most part. Okay, and so if somebody shows attention to you, how do you explain to them that you're not interested? You know what I mean? How do you explain to them? And some people have like little identifiers, they like a little bracelet, they have something on them. They want to somehow convey this message that I am not interested in that. If somebody was to approach me, and if people know me, they know that I don't let it go that far. You know what I mean? In conversations, I generally don't let it go that far. And if I was to meet somebody and it was to lead to that, I would have that topic of conversation. I'm not interested in dating. You know what I mean? Or if some wonderful guy came up and it made me change my mind to where he was just he made me change everything that I felt inside, whatever. Some miracle happens or whatever that I felt like that I just had to have this person, then that's my choice. You know what I mean? You don't prevent people from, whether I choose to be with somebody or not. That's my right to whatever. You know what I mean? I don't have an interest in dating anybody, but I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me I can't see somebody I want to. Or somebody telling me I can't date, or if somebody's trying to prevent me from that, I'm just like, no. Like I said, I'm never going to probably go to South Dakota or anywhere. There's places I will never have, I don't even have an interest in going. But I don't want people preventing me from going there. Okay? It's like, do not try to stamp out my freedom. Okay? This is who I am, you know, and being an asexual person is not in any way trying to flip the bird to men, you know what I mean? But it is basically me saying that I just, somebody who's trying to get by in this life. And I would rather people not sit here and try to play matchmaker with me because it feels very much like rape to me. And it shouldn't have happened in the first place. And it traumatized me. So yes, it is. It's true. I am asexual. It's not something that I really want to, I really feel like, gosh, you know, I really don't want to go into that because I feel like I value people, you know, at face value. Like if somebody wants to be friends with me, I'm willing to be friends with anybody. Okay. Well, not just anybody. I mean, I have my standards, but you know what I mean. It's like, you know, also I want to say clothes are an identifier. Like you can think about certain people that you knew, like I would say not so much as a, like for example, certain rich people, okay? Rich people are going to have more expensive clothes. You're going to have more name brands, okay? It's a way of identity. It's a way of making a statement, okay? It's like saying this is who you are, and then you wish to. These people who go to places like Nordstrom and all these expensive places, they have a certain group of people. They have a certain. They identify with a certain thing. Now, okay, I don't have like expensive clothes, but obviously I'm somebody who cares about those things. So that's my way of saying this is me, and I choose to magnetize people and be around people who have the same morals and the same standards as I do. This is what it is. Okay, clothes are not only meant for the opposite sex. And believe me, if I wanted to wear clothes that would appeal to the opposite sex, I would be a little more sexy. I would go way, way, way out of my way to be super sexy. You know what I mean? If I'm looking for sex, I would, you know, like I said, like, you know, go wear shorter dresses, wear like, you know, things that show cleavage or whatever. I mean, I would do whatever those sort of things. I stay away from that sort of stuff. And I wouldn't be with a man who was trying to tell me how to wear my clothes, what kind of clothes I'm supposed to wear. I would find somebody who I'd be compatible with. I would not be with somebody who basically abuses me. So yes, I am asexual. And I felt like I just want to get that off my chest. Let me see. Let me just look at my notes. Is there something else I want to talk about? Oh yeah, and as far as talking about men, yeah, you know, I think that there's good looking people all over the place. You know what I mean? People, I notice people's looks. Why do I notice people's looks? Because looks are, how can I say, good looks is something that you pay attention to. Some people are blessed with great jaw bones. They have great jaw bones, or they have like a nice nose that fits well with everything. The setting of their eyes, whatever. Okay, like I saw this one girl. She was, I don't know, she was about maybe 19 years old. Okay, she had a very fair complexion. She had blue eyes and she had black hair, right? And I kept looking at her like, oh, look at the contrast of that. She was pretty, and she didn't just have those things on, but she actually had a nice face, the symmetry, whatever. So I pay attention to people who are exceptional because in the back of my mind I'm making a note like, man, he should be like a model or something, or she should be a model, or I notice that people are good looks. They have good looks, but that doesn't mean that I have a sexual attraction to them or that I want to have sex with them or any of those sort of things. But whatever the case is, I resent these perps trying to prevent me from dating or telling me who I should date or if I should date or how I'm supposed to act, what I'm supposed to do, and I'm just absolutely disturbed by it. So anyway, gonna wrap up this video, and I will be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye-bye.